Hello, this is Double A with another WWE Supercard video for the date of Monday, October the 16th. This video is going to be geared towards those of you that are just jumping on Supercard, plus most of you older players as well that decide to take advantage. But for those of you who got the WWE 2K18 video game, you decide to take the plunge, you scan the codes in, you got your cards. Some of you who may have been around for a while and wanted the more luxurious cards, you scan that in as well, you got those too. So now you're here, you decided to play the game. And so this video is, like I said, primarily geared towards you newer people, but you older people that have been around for ages. Hope you enjoy this video just the same. Myself, I got my hands on the code for the John Cena, the Batista, and the Rob Van Dam ones. I'm starting to train them up now. As you can see right now, and just to give you an idea where you would initially start up with when you join the game, and I know a lot of you people have found this out already, but just for purposes of video, you've gotten your opening pack. I forget what comes in them now because things have probably changed, but like I said, I really don't know where it's at, but okay. We'll say this is your beginning deck. Right now you're at ultra rare, you're right now at your super rare, whatever. You're playing the game, just going along. This is kind of what you'd start off with. If you take a look at previously, you were in SummerSlam tier, and there's quite a difference between the ultra rare and epic. Epic, there's legendary, there's survivor, there's WrestleMania, there's SummerSlam. Lots of tiers between where you start off initially and where you get to if you got the more advanced cards. What I'm going to tell you is take advantage before you start getting into the higher cards. Take care of your lower cards as well. As you move up, let's see. Try to be kind of okay. So we're moving from ultra rare. I hope I'm able to do this for you. Oh well, I'm just going to throw in some older event cards, but yeah, we move up to epic. You're going to want to play some games till you get your reset, get your free epic tier pull, and then move your way up to legendary. Going to want to play some more games. As you play each game, you're going to reset the board. Your board resets at rare, ultra rare, super ultra, etc. Common and uncommon doesn't do it, but it resets of those other ones. But take advantage of your resets. The minute you enter a tier for the first time, it's when you get your tier pull, and you just work from there. So you get up to your legendary, you play some games, you get your free pull. Then after you do that, bump yourself up to survivor, play some more games, reset, get your free tier pull. I'll explain why all this can be beneficial in a moment. Just hang with me. So you get your survivor pull, you play a little more, you get into your WrestleMania tier, etc., etc. Then from there, now I should be at a point where where I get back to where I started this off at. I've already trained one of my John Cena's. Almost to where I need to be here. Thanks for your patience there. Because I want to get this back to where I was in terms of training. So after this video, then I could get back to it. Myself, I've been playing Supercard since day one. So you're going to see some pictures here that you probably aren't going to be familiar with. This is Rob Van Dam from season 1. It was a Survivor card. I thought it looked great on here. As you start playing in the seasons, if season 4 is kind of a continuation of season 3, then hopefully you'll be able to pull images over, but decided to go with that for the Van Dam card. Cena, I decided to go with his Legacy WrestleMania season card. And for Batista, I decided to go with his WrestleMania, not his WrestleMania, but his legendary card from season 1. Thought it looked great on it. Doesn't have all the faces on it, but it has a nice crisper look to it. So there's part 1 of this video. Going on to part 2. Why are getting those tier pulls critical? Now you could get back to the SummerSlam cards and train up the other ones first, but as you get into like Ring Domination, as you played, Ring Domination is a strategy-based game. They give you 9 squares. You play your cards. There's the up arrows, capture ones above it. Down arrows, capture ones below it. Left, right, as long as you have more in terms of power in your stats, then you're going to capture that card, capture a square. You're going to want to capture as many squares within that grid. 5 will do it. 9 gets your perfect game, get you a couple of extra picks. But basically, it's going to help you out in this mode if you get your free tier pulls in the process, because then you're not starting off with cards that are higher against cards that are lower in a tier that you probably could take better advantage of being higher in that rank. If you get into Road to Glory, it's a 20 card based game with supports. You have 4 females, 16 males. You want to try to get as balanced as possible, but as long as you get your free tiers, you're going to have more powerful cards that you can then use on your way. Just to show you an example with a team event, as you get into a team, you're going to have events that you could play. There's Ring Dominations, there's Road to Glory. But using this as an example of what a Road to Glory looks like, the point values are going to be lower, but as you see at the top, you'll see points, 0 out of whatever. As you get those points, as you play, you basically play for free. You don't get pick doublers. Pick doublers or title card matches double the points for your game. As you see, the more points that you get towards it, you get that particular card. Nowadays, you start at Legendary. You start playing through the ranks until you get to SummerSlam. Now, on an event card, you'll see one beyond what you see here. But that's what you'll see. Now, when you starting off the game with what you have, I would probably say that you'd probably get as far as probably SummerSlam or Hardened, depending. Hard to really say for sure because it's all going to be dependent on how the cards lie. If you're going to have less power, then you're probably not going to see as many of those cards show up. So likely to probably wind up somewhere around Survivor or WrestleMania. There's many tiers in the game. There's common, there's uncommon, there's rare, super rare, ultra rare, epic, legendary, Survivor, WrestleMania, and there's SummerSlam, there's WrestleMania 33, and there's SummerSlam 17. Come a long way. Back when the game first started, gonna go into come on. So yeah, back in the day there wasn't if try gonna get into a little bit detail before going any further. Nowadays you play matches towards the cards, you train them up, you make sure you max them out all the way in terms of your power, your toughness, your charisma, your speed. Your card's gonna be higher score wise. Make sure that you have all those maxed as well as your ability before you bring them together by proing them. Proing them is when you have two cards that basically you have them trained up, you bring them together, you train those up more, you have a proed card. Back in season 1, you didn't have that. You just trained them up. You just fed them cards, trained them up, proed them, and moved on. That's different. That became different in season 2 and season 3, whereas that's no longer an issue or no longer a scenario to the gameplay. So then you're going to have your team battleground. That's a game where if you're in a team, the owner or general would choose a team. You would then get a pack with cards that are in it. You have a 24-hour prep period of which you're getting these charge things. There's those things in the middle there. You then train your cards up. And then you have 24 hours to do that. The event happens. You choose players that you want to take a look at their deck. You want to choose players that you could probably beat. Your cards are going to be different in Team Battleground, different than what you have normally. These cards you will never keep. They're just yours long enough for the game, so you can marvel at what you could possibly be playing for, what you could be getting in the future. And then you have 24 hours to play. The winner of that, you'll get rewards. The champions get a platinum pack, which is a male star, 2 superstars, Ultimate WrestleMania 33, and battle points. And then there's basically consolation prizes. There's a battle point store. You gain those points, and you can buy packs with those. So let's see, anything else I could tell you. Fusion chamber. Those of you new to the game, you'll see a fusion chamber in there. If you're starting off low, you'll start off with common, goes all the way up to SummerSlam 17. You feed in an initial card. You put in other cards to add points to it. You fuse them all. You get a more powerful card from that particular rank. You then move up the ranks, feeding that card in until you get to a more powerful card that you can use for your deck. If you're just starting out, you probably won't get as far as, I want to say, ultra rare or super rare, because you haven't really got those cards yet to feed into it, but that will occur and that will happen. After a certain amount of time, if you have the finances, hold on, get back to this real quick, sorry about that. In any case, you can either do what's known as speeding up by using credits on it, or you could just wait the particular time frame to go from a common to a SummerSlam 17 card from beginning to end. Will take you usually about a month and a half, give or take, but you wind up getting, like, some more powerful cards within that rank. Right now, I'm in SummerSlam 17 tier, so there'll be different cards that you have a possibility of getting. You have your pack store, in which you could get in here. You could buy packs. You could buy draft picks. I don't know why you would want to buy draft picks, considering the fact you only get 3. You can play a couple of games, get that without spending any credits. So I have no idea why it's there. You can get superstar packs, supply packs, which gives you more enhancements than anything. There's Hall of Fame packs. There's Ultimate packs. You see all your packs there. You get into them. You can see what you can get from them. From time to time, they have sales on them. You have attitudes. I don't really use these. I don't see the point in them, but you may have fun with them. You could use them in player games, player versus player games. That would be your Royal Rumble and your ranked. You're ranked. You score points. You get a deck up. You're going to want to have your most powerful cards in this one, because any pull that you make is based on cards that are in here. So like I said, whatever you have as your higher score cards, leave them in here. That's definitely going to be beneficial. Royal Rumble, it's basically 15 cards. Starts off with you against another person, usually a bot, usually another player, and you'll see at the bottom where it says power, toughness, speed, or charisma. Each one of those cards that you play takes off of that particular stat. So if I'm using him, for instance, if I play a power card, that's going to deduct from his power stat. If I play toughness stat, etc., etc. You're going to want to try to have those cards as balanced as possible, so you're not running through one more than anything else. And there's rewards in that, and card backs that you can obtain on that. Money in the bank, reward-based system, where you get contracts. You're going to want to really give yourself a lot of time for this, because it's not something that you're going to blaze through in a couple of days. Usually it takes people, if they're playing consistently, about a couple of weeks to get enough contracts to buy a higher contract card. The points that you see here are usually higher. They did a shortened period of time for this, but you'll be able to get cards anywhere from Survivor or from draft picks up to the higher tier cards for that. Let's see what else. You have your mailbox. You can check and see which friends are on. You have your team events, like I said. You'll have Ring Domination on a regular basis every other week. Road to Glory every other week. This week, we believe it's going to be a Halloween themed with a John Cena, but we're not 100% sure about that. But stay tuned. Keep a watch on that. So I think that is going to be it for me today. I can't think of nothing else to share with you. If you get on Twitter, you could follow and keep up to date with Supercard at WWE Supercard. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at Catch the Pinfall. If you are a player that doesn't have any pack whatsoever, I do have a spare pack that will give you the Rollins, the 3 Elites, and a card back. Like this video, comment on it. If you're catching me on Twitter, retweet it. I'm going to pick a name at random. I'm going to ask you a question. No, not. I give up with that. I'm just going to pick a name at random. If I choose you, I'm going to let you know. And then the pack is going to be yours. As long as you respond back to me, I'm going to send the pack out to you. Let me know how I can do that. Either via Twitter message, Facebook message, what have you. Let me know. Be more than happy to drop one your way. So that is going to be it for me today. This is Double A with WWE Supercard saying see you next time. And so long from ringside. Goodbye, everybody.